I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not working hard enough. What's going on, guys? My name is Jake, and this is your body comp prescription. As always, I hope you're all having a great day. For today's video, I just kind of wanted to speak freely. I've had some thoughts on my mind, and I thought I would pick up the camera and share them with you all. I just noticed that I've been having this talk with a lot of people lately, and if you're one of those people, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but it's really come to my attention that there's a lot of people out there that have like no idea what they're doing. And I thought it was just people that were like my age, because obviously that's like who I hang out with the most and who I talk to. But I've been having this same conversation over the last couple of weeks with people that are like 2-3 times my age and like everywhere in between, basically. And it just seems like there's so many people that are all in this same boat. And this really confused me because like in my head, it all makes sense. Like if you don't know what to do, you do something in the meantime until you figure it out. You try a bunch of things. If you don't like it, you move on. If you do like it, you keep going with it. And I know I'm going to get like some backlash for this because everyone's going to say, I don't know what everyone is going through. I got XYZ to pay for. I got work. I got this. I got school. I got blah, 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 right? I get it. Like you got stuff going on, but you also have to understand that like, so does everybody else, like you can't just always say that I've got this, and this going on, and that's the reason that you can't do what you're trying to do. Or I guess I should say there shouldn't be that many like obstacles or excuses that prevent you from doing what you want to do. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not working smart enough. I'm sure you thought I was gonna say you're not working hard enough, but no, you're not working smart enough. And the reason that I say that is because like everyone thinks they're the hardest worker in the room. I've told this to like tons of people, right? I can ask you, I can ask your mom, I can ask your boss, I can ask whoever, your grandpa, your grandma, I can ask whoever I want, and almost all of them are gonna say the same exact answer. One, that they work hard, and two, that they probably think they're the hardest worker in the room. Myself included, I'm like guilty of this too. And the list of people that I think actually work harder than me, like obviously in my circle, my parents, like my mom, my dad, John, my stepdad, and then Rick. For those of you who don't know, Rick was one of my old bosses, and he's also the dad of like one of my best friends. Like that's it. Like that's the list of people who I truly believe work harder than me. Those are the hardest workers I know, and like I had to get it from somewhere, right? So I would probably say that all those people were like the role models that helped me become the way that I am. So shout out to you if you just got your name called. But you've got to remember that working hard isn't the only factor that determines your success at anything and everything. Like keep that in mind. There are a lot of people who work really, really freaking hard and are nowhere near where they want to be, or deserve to be for that matter. And one of my favorite quotes of all time, I read it a long time ago in a book, and if you've been around me, you've probably heard me say it. And it goes something like this: it doesn't matter how fast you are or how hard you work, if the ladder isn't leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster. So take a step back and ask yourself if you're in the right place. Because we already know that you're the hardest worker in the room, but are you in the right room? Like it genuinely bothers me, and I'm sure you can tell, when people aren't doing what they want to do. Sure, there are some things that you like absolutely have to do, but why aren't you doing what you want to do? Like what you actually want to do? The more excuses that you come up with to answer that question are the obstacles that you have to move out of the way. And those better be some really, really, really good, like stellar reasons as to why you're not doing what you want to do. And if you don't attempt to move those things out of the way, I'd probably start questioning whether it is that's what you actually want to do or not. Or better yet, I'd probably question how bad you want it. Take fitness, for example. This is all hypothetical, so don't get offended. But why don't most people work out and take care of their nutrition? Is it because you have work and you're busy and you don't have time? No, flat out. It's because your priorities are trash. Even though working out and taking care of your nutrition helps you live a longer life, a better quality of life, and on top of all that, it's a hobby that like challenges you to be better. But you're probably right. You do have work, you're busy, you don't have time. I get it. Are you at a job you don't like? Or like, let me clarify. Not a job that you don't like, but you're at a job that's not necessarily in line with what you want to do? Why are you still there? Is it because you've been there forever, you've met so many great people, the pay is good, the benefits, the hours, they're all good? Nope. It's because you're comfortable. Just think about that a little bit. You're sacrificing what you want to do with your life because you're comfortable. Makes perfect sense to me. Let me share a quote with you guys. I thought this was a super sick quote. I saw Henry Cavill say it, aka Superman. I don't know if he actually came up with it or not. He said, "Comfort is a drug. It's addictive. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die." First of all, like, mind blown, right? And number two, how many people can you name that fall victim to this or have fallen victim to this that you know? I'm sure there's a bunch. I can name quite a few. I need more than two hands to count mine. I was a victim of this. I'm included in that list too. I was unemployed at the start of 2020 just like most people were. I was living good. I was cashing my unemployment checks. I was sleeping in, playing video games. I was just dicking around, like doing nothing basically. And that was my excuse. I'd always tell myself, and I'd hear from other people, it's all good. You'll figure it out. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is something that never happens. And the summary of the story was I was chilling in my comfort zone. And luckily enough, I was able to realize that I was just delaying my future. I was pushing away my dreams, and I had just enough willpower to say that I was over it. Left my job at Gold's Gym, and then body comp prescription happened. It wasn't easy. Let me tell you. You think it's easy to go from a really, really good paying job to making content like I do? Informational content, helpful content, albeit, there's plenty of room to grow. It's stuff that I work hard on, and it's all content that I'm proud to put my name on just to get 20 views. That shit is hard. Excuse my language, but that shit is really, really hard. Maybe it's easy for some people, but it's not easy for me. If I did what was easiest for me, I'd be in school right now. Going to class, easy for me. Taking tests, easy for me. Homework, easy for me. That's why I don't do it anymore. Trust me, one day I would love to be Long Range Jake PhD, but I don't think school is that challenging for me anymore. But maybe that's a little bit later down the line. But to say what I do right now is challenging me is a complete understatement. It's by far the hardest thing that I have ever done. And I challenge you to put yourself in a very similar situation, because if I can do it, I'm sure you can too. And if that thing for you is school or is a job or is fitness, that's great. That's totally fine. I was just using those as examples. But like I said, I've just been noticing a lot lately. It didn't matter if you're 23, 25, 30, 50. It seems like there's a lot of people that are in the wrong place. So if you are one of those people and you've realized that, do your best to get out of it. Figure out a path and walk down it. And I'm not going to say failing to plan is planning to fail, like that whole cliche, but do your best to figure out what steps that you need to take and then start making them. And if you're telling me that you don't want to be at a job for the rest of your life, then leave. Figure out what steps you need to take them. A year from now, I shouldn't be asking you how you're holding up at this job. I should be asking you how you're enjoying your new one. And I hate when people say that it's too late, I'm in too deep. The only person that's putting a timeline on your success in whatever aspect is you. How many people are successful in their early 20s? I'm sure there's a handful. And if you really want to get to where you want to be, you have to be smarter, right? You can get to the end goal a number of different ways, but if your only attribute is being a hard worker, it may take you a lot longer to get there because you couldn't step back and realize that you were in the wrong place for, I don't know, a couple months. Sometimes it's a couple years. For some people, it's a lot of years. So think about it. If you're the hardest worker in the room, pat yourself on the back. But if you're not in the right room, none of that matters. So I hope that this is, a wake-up call for a lot of you, because this conversation that I've had with a number of people are all people that I really care about. And, whether you know me or not, hopefully this still helps you too. And, this is all part of the journey. I've already started mine, and, I believe that I'm on the right one. And of course, me being arrogant, I think that I'm going to do some pretty great things in my lifetime, but that doesn't mean there's not room at the top for everybody. You know, I genuinely care about a lot of people and I want everyone to be successful. My success doesn't have to come at the expense of someone else's. There's enough to go around for everybody, you know? We can all grow, succeed, help each other, and we'll congratulate one another once we see each other at the top again. And we'll cheer each other on until we get there. And hopefully this video can be the one that, you know, wakes you up. Like how I realized I was doing, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, wasting my time because I was too busy, you know, feeling sorry for myself. You know, the moment that we realize that we're making a mistake is the same moment that we can change and start correcting our mistakes. And then we actually start doing what we like, what we want to do, what we're meant to do, you know? Why not? Why can't you do those things? All right, I think that's pretty much it. I can go on forever because I love talking and clearly this is, you know, something that I'm passionate about and I just want to help in any way that I can. But I'm sure you guys got the idea by now. And I'm like almost positive that there are going to be people that think that I'm naive for some of the things that I just said. And I'm sure you all have valid arguments. But I just wanted to speak my mind. You know, let's talk about it. If you agree, if you don't agree, if you like something I said, if you hated something I said, you know, that's what the comments are for. I hope this made you think. I wasn't trying to attack anyone or I wasn't talking about anyone in particular. I just think that there are some people that needed this. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.